The Grand Medal of the Académie des Sciences is one of France's most prestigious scientific awards. It is presented every year to a scientist who has made a decisive contribution in the development of science. This year's recipient is Professor Michael Hall of the Biozentrum at the University of Basel in Switzerland. Professor Hall discovered the mechanism regulating cell growth. Thank you, Professor Hall, for your time and congratulations.
Pleasure's mine. Thank you.
Can you tell us about this mechanism that regulates cell growth and how did you discover it?
The regulation of cell growth is very important because if it grows wrong, it can cause major disease. And as strange as it might seem from the perspective today, people didn't think cell growth was actually actively regulated. It was a passive process that simply happened when you ate. You provided building blocks to the body or to the cell, and the cell grew. But in retrospect, this has turned out to be a very naive view on how cell growth occurs. It is, in fact, actively controlled. It's controlled by a protein called TOR, which is found in every cell of your body. Of the 10 trillion cells that you have in your body, it's found in every cell of plants, worms, flies, any so-called eukaryotic organism. So it performs very fundamentally important biology. And the way we discovered it is a bit of a long story in itself, but we discovered it in yeast, the same yeast that you use to make beer, wine, or bread, because you can take a scientific approach using these simple cells called genetics. So we utilize genetics to go after the target of rapamycin. TOR is in fact target of rapamycin, and rapamycin is a natural molecule made by soil bacterium that was found on Easter Island, known to the locals as Rapa Nui. Hence this molecule that came from there is called rapamycin. The realization that cell growth is controlled, is actively controlled, indicates there's a system, a mechanism, which can then be targeted to control a number of diseases where growth is happening aberrantly. For example, a tumor is a disease of aberrant cell growth. So rapamycin, which inhibits TOR, can now be used to treat cancer, in addition to how it was originally developed to suppress the immune system. But I think the broader implications is it's expanded our knowledge of cell biology, how cell growth is controlled, and this is then spilled over to our understanding not only of cell growth, but cell aging, how cells age, and ultimately how whole organisms such as us age. It turns out that aging, the study of aging, is a very active and very large field, and it's been known since 1935 that if you eat less, you live longer. This is called dietary restriction among scientists. And what we discovered early on was that TOR controls cellular growth in response to nutrients. So when you inhibit TOR, let's say with rapamycin, you trick the cell into thinking that there are no nutrients around. TOR can now no longer sense the nutrients, and it has the effect of caloric restriction or dietary restriction. And then and as a result, it extends lifespan. So not only have we learned a great deal about how cell growth is controlled, we've learned a great deal about how cell aging and organismal aging occurs. First of all, I feel extremely honored, extremely happy, and I'm also very proud. For one simple reason is that it combines two things which are extremely important to me. One is science and the other is France.